Hey guys, Randy with Smart Dog School here, and I'm going to give you an inside look at Tucker. Tucker's a really super young boxer puppy, and if anybody's ever owned boxers, well, you know how revved up they can get. I think they come out of the womb jumping on people. They're really fun dogs to have, but you know their temperament, their tolerance levels are sometimes questionable because you know their temperament's always go, never stop, right? So sitting still or remaining in a place is completely foreign to them, and in their tolerance level, so they can take a lot. So depending on who their trainer is, when we require them to do certain things, when we require them to, well, remain still or wait for us to open a door or not pull on our leash, we require these types of, you know, manner style behaviors. Sometimes they look at us with a confused look, but it's almost like I'm not doing it. You know, and some people would call it blatant disobedience. I can't say it's that because I don't really know, and I don't know if they actually understand what I'm saying or not. But at that point, we have to get creative, and it's all about motivation. Motivation comes in two forms: avoidance or acquisition. So they have to work to acquire something, get something, work to avoid something. You know, we do it all day outside. You know, we drive the speed limit because, you know, we're avoiding accidents, we're avoiding tickets more likely. And you know, we do a lot of things to acquire. We come to work to get paid. We go home because our family's there and it's comfortable. So we're acquiring and avoiding all day long. With boxers, sometimes it's a little tricky. So I worked with him for a little bit prior to this, and now I kind of want to show you where we're at with it. Using a mini educator, guys. This is from eCollar Technologies. Quick. This is from eCollar Technologies. I also have a prong collar on him. Now, a lot of people are going to tell you that these types of tools are questionable with puppies. Depending on whose hand they're in, absolutely. We're using it as communication, guys. I'm not going to talk to this pup. I'm going to use the remote collar, and I'm going to use his other tool to teach him about pressure and release so he knows how to acquire a pressure-free zone near me and how to avoid pressure being turned on. At the same time, he's learning from me, okay? So watch this. If you have questions, please let me know below. Sorry if it's a little longer than a typical video, but I want to show you everything without editing anything, okay? So I've already found his level. He's on a 8 right now, and I'm going to walk forward. I'm going to try to keep him loose leash. That's my goal, okay? Let's go. Oh, so right there, look here, see the little tolerance level? So I had him on a level 8 prior to talking to you guys. After he relaxed a little bit, as you can tell, he's trying to bite the leash. See, I told you, little temperament issues. He's only been here for a few days. A level 8 was too high. He didn't like it. So I come down some levels. So that shows me that he was highly aroused when I was finding his level. That's the tricky thing about the remote collars. That's why they have a dial. Super easy to use. You just got to keep watching your dog. The number means nothing. Your dog's going to tell you everything. Okay? As you can tell, I'm not jerking around the leash. I'm not making him do things. I'm simply just walking back and forth. I want him to engage with me, and I'm going to refine his level, okay? I come down a couple. If I tap and he looks at me, then that's great. Then I know I'm on the right level. Tapping, and he looked at me. Did you see that, guys? That's awesome. So let's go back the other way. At the same time, I'm not putting pressure on the leash. I do that as a directional cue. So if I want him to come towards me, and I tap the leash and I pull a little bit, then he understands to release the tap to make it stop. He comes towards me. I'm teaching recall at that point, okay? So tap, he comes towards me. Tap, he likes the place. Tap. Now that right there was, I don't want to get off the place. That's all that was. If I let that continue, or this leash biting, if I let that continue, I'm allowing this behavior and I don't want it, okay? That means I'm reinforcing something I don't like. People do it all the time. We lose track of the fact that when a dog gets the chance to do something and it works, well, he's not going to not try it again. He's a very opportunistic animal. He's going to try it again. So let's focus on not letting it. Next time he tries to bite the leash, I'm going to tell him no. I'm going to give him a correction. Even though he's a young pup, he still deserves to be held accountable. And hopefully it will lessen the frequency or lessen the probability that he'll do that again. I'm down a couple more degrees on this, and I'm walking away. Good. Keep the leash loose. I'll tell you when I'm using the remote collar. I'll walk towards you. We'll walk around a little bit, looking for a nice walk. and I'm tapped. There, he's still too high. Let's take it down a few more. Now that was really good. You see him kind of flinch a little bit with that one? I'm not gonna stop walking, I'm gonna keep walking and talking. Some people will look at a remote collar when you press the button and say if he flinches at all, then it's too high. I'm gonna go on record right now and say I totally disagree with that. My viewpoint from a remote collar is that they're nothing more than a leash. They are an invisible wireless leash. And I've never seen a dog that gets to the end of my leash and I stop walking or I pull back or I change directions or whatever the case was where he feels the end of it, not flinch from leash pressure. It's going to hit him on the end of it. It's going to hit from the collar, from the leash getting tight, and he's going to flinch because it's pressure. Okay? He can't avoid it. We never look at that and say, oh gosh, I don't want to use the leash anymore because, you know, he hit the end of the leash hard and it jerked him back. Well, we just accept the fact that they do that. With remote collars, it's different. So, if I'm tapping the button and he's showing me based on some type of visual cue that he feels it, as long as it's not over the top, like if I would jerk on a leash, then I'm okay with it. I have to figure out ways to communicate. And this is just a stimulus that we use to communicate. And a lot of what we do here at Smart Dog School is just what you're seeing here. Super boring, super repetitive, but we love it. We would never pick nothing else to do as a career, and we're going to do this as long as our hands and feet, mind, and heart work, okay? So, this whole time I've been walking, every time I've changed directions, I've tapped the remote collar. I'm telling him to stay with me in this heel position, but there's one thing I'm not doing, guys. I'm not talking to him, okay? You don't have to talk to your dog. I know you're going to, because we're humans. We just do that. So now I'm going to go right back into training, since we've set up this walk. So, I'm going to have him get in front of me. Tap. Perfect. That's good. I'm down on a 5 now, by the way, guys. Tap. Yeah. That's good. Let's go up here and tap. Good job. I'm down on a 4 now, guys. Good. Good. You notice the leash? Very loose, right? This dog had no leash manners, especially on the training collar. He was jumping and biting, just like you saw at the beginning there. Tap. Good job. He's like, what was that? There's a fly on me. All right, so now we're going to show a little bit of place work. So to send the dog to a place, I get 2 choices. Either I can just escort him to it. I can hit my remote collar and escort him to it. That's just like pulling him to it on a leash. Or I can use a different stimulus that's going to mean go away from me. Up until this point, when we're conditioning remote collar, it means look at your handler, come to your handler. It's kind of counterproductive to use the stimulation that means look at your handler. That's a good behavior. He stopped on his own. I love it. It's counterproductive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use vibrate. A lot of times people think vibrate is less intensive, and actually it's more. But the problem with vibrate is it doesn't allow you to go up and down in intensity. So all I'm going to do, he's standing here looking out the window. I'm going to press vibrate. I'm going to use the leash as an escort if I have to get him back to the place. Most of the time, I don't use the leash, I use my body. So I will almost want him to come to me. I'll get on the other side of the place and I'll pull him to me. Like, you know, I'm encouraging him to come to me. Watch his reaction. 1, 2, 3. Vibrate. I'm backing up. And release. Okay? Perfect. In the future, I'm going to hold down vibrate the whole time until he lays down. So that's stimulus to lay down. Now, that's a relaxed pet. That's what we want to look like at the end of our lesson. Every single lesson, all the way up to the time he goes home, this is what we're looking for. Calm state of mind, almost into the stage of acceptance, and not necessarily being on a downstay. So not in a slingshot, ready to bounce off and run out the door. No, this is what I want. Head down, I hope you guys can see this. Head down, chilled out, relax. Let's do 1 more rep like that. Now when I go to get him off this, he may not like it. A lot of dogs start to figure out that that's the place that everything good happens, and I don't want to leave it. So I'll try and get him off without necessarily anything bad, so any kind of leash pressure. So I'll encourage him with my body language and a little bit of novel sounds, okay? See, here we go. Very light off there. If I go jerking him off there, he's like, I don't like being on there no more. Okay, now I'm pretty far back to the place board. I'm going to hit it. Take him up to it. And that's it. So you got no leash pressure. Now if he comes off of it, I'm back on it and off. Now I'm just going to see what he does. Last time he relaxed right away. That's it. Good job, buddy. That's it. Sometimes I get a little too emotional with this and I rev them out based on my verbal arousal. I don't mean to, but I'm human and I love dogs, guys. So let's do one more rep. I'm sorry, he's doing really good, so let's keep it going. That's it. Try not get any leash pressure, keep him in a pressure-free zone. Let's walk around and just randomly pick a time to go to it. And how about now? See what he does, see if he goes, oh, looky there, boom. He's waiting for me, look at that butt wiggling, guys. Look at that. Let's see if he sits down. Now, I could run over to him, I could tell him to sit, I could push his butt down. That's not gonna, put him in down with a cue is a little bit different than just getting him to select it on his own. That's it. Hip rocks, and he lays down. Anytime you see your dogs do that, take their butt and shift it to one side or the other, they're not going nowhere for a while. Enjoy your dogs like this, guys. Holiday's coming up, Thanksgiving's coming up. I want you to be able to bring a little puppy like this that's constantly yapping and pulling at people and biting at people and chasing kids. I want you to bring them in to your house, turkey on the table, pumpkin pie everywhere, and get them to do this without telling them. They're choosing that. We show them to go to it. We lead them as their leaders, but this is what ends up happening. So, if you have any questions, anything about what I said or did, don't hesitate to call me. 859-638-9693. I'm pretty much available anytime. Or ask me a question below or send me a message, anything. Either myself, Shelby, or Hannah can help you through any of this, but we're going to show literally every step that we do with everybody's dog, and it's all as simplistic as this. We focus on the 3 R's. Restraint, that's leash manners. Recall, your dog knowing your name and to come back when we call it. And relax. That's our signature right there. Okay? As simple as that sounds, it is simple, but not too easy. We have to do the repetition. You have to put in the effort. We'll do a lot of it for you, and then we become your coach. So anyway, hope this helps anybody that wants to try it with their pup. Watch it, try and emulate it, ask me any questions, and we'll do our best to help you. So take care. Have a great Thanksgiving, and thanks for watching. Thanks for being a fan. We appreciate it. Have a good one.